from the so-called Space City, Houston, Texas. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans.
Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
So out come the Texans in great starting field position. And trotting out there, a guy who's established himself as a veteran in this league, now in his 5th year at quarterback.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses who have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason. So now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Stroud to throw it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year.
And the Texans use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. They have pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Will Anderson
in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other his side has got it.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
That's taken on the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Play action. Stroud now.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw.
Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 41 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jelani Woods.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Colts get a bit closer. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end and those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. This offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Anthony Schwartz, 45 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Will Anderson, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
There's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Let's take it at around the 40.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Now they try the right side here. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Stroud sets up the play action. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Anthony Schwartz. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs. Because even
now a loose football, the ball comes out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 5.
They'll set up a throw.
A short throw pulled in by Woods.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for this with Singletary.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
First down, Indianapolis. Let's go.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Marquise Bell coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
they're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal.
It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
This taken in right around the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense back out again, and there's the burner, Anthony Schwartz.
Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you got a shot at it, but he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Right back to Singletary on second down.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on fourth down.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
And the Texans will take over. The offense back out again, and there's the burner, Anthony Schwartz.
We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a third person in the air.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
It's second down.
He'll drop to throw.
A short throw pulled in by Woods.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On third down, they go with Singletary. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away.
Taken right about the 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Play action. Here's Stroud. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. you're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide, usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
70 Ranger.
Now they'll go play action here with Stroud.
And connecting here with DJ Sharp. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Stroud off the play fake.
And Sharp calls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Here goes Stroud again.
Escaping the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
It'll be a gain of 4 here, and it will take us to the end of the first half of play.
So we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Texans. A big play there. 71 yards.
And the Texans come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Shoves him aside. 39 yards. Looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Mustang 19. Ready.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Ready.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. There's a nice move. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
19 Lions.
Here's Stroud. And he's got it. And the Texans are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans just continue to roll. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And the Colts getting ready to go.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And shutting him off, now open field. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play. Back now here on EA Sports. The Colts on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw.
That's taken in, Dontavian Wicks. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Indianapolis.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. 57 yards.
And the Texans are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Second and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Looking to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this run.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez.
And they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans TD.
That's pretty rare that you see a ball game decided by this wide of a margin, and now it gets, Charles, even wider after that pick 6. They've done everything right on that sideline.
I think we can safely say that not only is the scoreboard, right, the gap big there, now everyone's just looking for stat padding, right? Do I get a chance to make a big play? Can I get a takeaway? Can I go ahead and put the ball in the end zone? That's what these guys are all talking to each other about now with a lead this big.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people were, they get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A nice little juke. And past the 35, will be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 64 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready.
Play action. Stroud now.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
He's going to take another shot here. And this will be caught. And the carnage coverage continues. It's another touchdown. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Butker now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On play action, they'll throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted a picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Stroud sets up the play action.
He's going to let it go again. That's caught inside the 20. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided.
Come on. Hey.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10.
Flushed out right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no